Earthlings! Today is Cisco's birthday. It's also our 1-year anniversary together. So I will be sharing with you 5 super helpful tips I learned while owning a leopard gecko for 1 year. Okay, so for tip number 1, which I think is a summary of all of my tips combined. So if you're planning to get a leopard gecko as a pet, listen up. Do your freaking research. Read articles online, read about leopard gecko care in your country, because a lot of care sheets online are designated for American countries or European countries. Let's move on to tip number 2, which is buy all the things you need for your leopard gecko before you get your leopard gecko. Learn from me, because when I got Cisco, the only thing I bought prior to him is his tank. And the tank I bought for him isn't even the right size for him anymore. Like it's the right size for him when I got him, but now that he's adult size now, I need to get him a bigger tank. And I haven't gotten him a bigger tank because of quarantine. So in the case of husbandry, buy a tank fit for your gecko's age. Another important one to get before you get your leopard gecko is a cave. And I know this was a tricky one for me. I didn't buy a cave at first because I didn't know what size leopard gecko I wanted. A helpful tip that I learned was to ask the pet store that you're going to if you can return it. I've tested a lot of caves that didn't fit or that Cisco didn't really like or use, and I returned the ones that he didn't like or use, and I saved some money. You can also make your caves if you don't have the money to buy caves. And a big perk in making your cave is that you can find the right size for your gecko. The last sub-tip in tip number 2, and it's the one that I was the most stressed out about. You need a heat mat. The first time that Cisco got sick, he had all the stuff that he needed except for a heat mat. Because when I went to buy Cisco, I actually asked the breeder if he needed a heat mat. And the reptile breeder that I went to, that I bought Cisco from, said no. But he was wrong. He was so wrong. Because first month that I had Cisco, he wouldn't eat at all. He ate, I think, the first 2 weeks that I got him, and then after that he didn't eat for a whole month, and he was losing weight. So I brought him to the vet. They found out that he wasn't eating because he wasn't able to regulate his temperature. I immediately bought a heat mat. My tip for you is don't buy the cheap ones either, you know, those laminated ones in Shopee or Lazada. Don't do it because they don't work that well. They break easily. It's just a waste of your money. So just get the legit ones. I'll also insert a picture now of what Cisco has. That's been with us for a year now. Tip number 3, which I touched on a little bit, is to search for a reptile vet near you or near where you live. When Cisco got sick that first time, I had the hardest time searching for a vet that cares for reptiles. You can't just go to your normal vet that treats your dog, because not all vets know how to take care of reptiles, just like not all doctors know how to do surgery or take care of kids or, I don't know, treat your eyes. Before you get your leopard gecko, or if you're planning to get a leopard gecko, before you get him or her, look for places around your area that treats reptiles in specific. I'll link Cisco's vet down below, and I'll link some veterinary clinics that cares for reptiles down below too, just so I'll help you out a little bit with the research part, because it was so hard to find. Okay, 4th is to tell your household the do's and don'ts about your reptile. This is really important, especially if you're living with your family, living with children, living with other pets, or living with a roommate with another pet. A thing that you should know straight away is no smoking or no smoke near your reptile, no spraying of any kind of chemicals near your reptile. And this is so crucial now because everyone is just spraying things all over the place. Alcohol, Lysol, perfume, No, don't just spray things around and expect them to inhale the fumes and be okay. Also, if they want to touch him or pick him up, please tell me first, because they don't really know how to pick him up the right way, the scoop method. It's important to let other people know because obviously they didn't do the same research that you did. But yeah, every leopard gecko is different, so get to know your leopard gecko so that you know what to do and the people around you know what to do. So our last tip for my fellow anxious reptile moms is don't panic. When Cisco had a shedding problem, there was a time when he didn't fully remove his shed in weeks. I had to help him peel it off, which I hated because he was so stressed. A friend of mine helped me. He's a zookeeper. What's up, Renee? And he helped me a lot with staying calm and not panicking and just pushing through with helping Cisco. Because if you've done your research, you'll know that leopard geckos lose their toes, and I don't really want Cisco to lose any of his toes. So you just have to push through. Don't panic. Everything you're doing is because you care about him or her, your pet. It took a couple of days to shed his original skin off, and then he was able to shed the skin, the new shed that was growing in by himself. So just take it one step at a time. You know, if you're stressed out too much and you see your pet stressed out, just back away a little bit, take a breather, and then try again later on. Most reptiles are very hardy, and in the case of Cisco, he's super chill and docile, and I love him to bits, and he's like the easiest pet to take care of. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned a lot. If you want more Cisco content, press that like button so that I know you want more Cisco content, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!